everybody, and welcome back to Italy, round 4 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Trentino. What a fantastic location as well. Lake Garda right there, that's about 15 minutes away from where we are, the North Shore there. We are surrounded by the Dolomite Mountain Range. And what a bunch of stuff you can do here. Look, you can sail, you can kayak, you can row, take your little boat out on the lake for the afternoon. Hiking, kayaking, cycling, running, base jumping, you name it, you've got it here in abundance. Put it on your bucket list, wish list. It is a must-see place. Been coming here since 1987. It was a 125 Grand Prix that day, but this is MXGP. In total, we've had 19 Grand Prix here, so this weekend marks the 20th Grand Prix. What a weekend that is for the club here. This Il Ciclamino circuit has changed over the years, even in the last few years, where they brought in a little bit more softer dirt to combat the hard, rugged circuit that it used to be. Why have they done that? Well, it creates a little bit more line choice, a bit more braking, a bit more bumps, and it makes it probably a little bit more fun to ride as well in some respects. Right, from the finish line, we go left-right. First corner is a 180 left, by the way. So from the finish line, through the first couple of corners, up and over the triple, actually sector 1 ending in the center of your screen, sector 2 ending over there top right, sector 3 in that 180 left in the middle of the screen, and then just across from that sector 4 where we get our lap times. The racetrack here, 1,570 meters long, just under a mile. But before we go anywhere, let's take a quick look behind the scenes. Obviously you're familiar with our 26-minute highlight program, Behind the Gate. Well, this week we're working on a team report. It follows Team Fantic, the factory MXGP team. So take a look.
So we have Fantic Factory MXGP team, a new team in the paddock. You have Glenn Coldenhoff and relatively new signing now, Brian Bogers.
Hello, Brian. Looking like a movie star.
Yeah, and I don't look like that, Obviously, the infrastructure has been around for a few years, based in the Netherlands, but obviously new with Fantic and Fantic machinery this year. Of course, you got Louis Vosters running the team, owning the team of Italy. Tonkov is still the team manager.
Actually, we had a really busy winter. The transition, it was a lot of work to work together and to start up with Fantic. It was a big job, but everything went really well. And it was a busy winter, but it was also a nice experience.
You know, it's been tough months. Like, you know, the off season is actually very, very short, and yeah, the guys need to put in a lot of effort in a short time, and luckily they were able to do that, and I'm quite happy with my bike now. So it's actually been good.
What I like about Glenn, he is a true professional, absolutely dedicated to his craft, works hard, trains hard, lives a very, very clean life.
Yep, earplugs. I want to still hear when I'm 60. The bikes are very loud.
Look, cycling on the road. For me, it's dangerous. But this is only the elements or some stuff more? Important also. Doesn't get stinky.
Now, if you've got a role model and an example to follow, Glenn is definitely that guy.
Yeah, the riding was really good. Also, already before Sardinia, you know, on the practice, the bike felt really nice, and yeah, it's amazing to start like that, you know, with like minimum training before. So I'm like looking forward what I can do when I have like 2-3 months of training under the belt.
Moment as Brian Bogers got up from that. If you want to see that, you check out the next episode of Behind the Gate out this week. Anyway, the atmosphere getting ready, and it's building because we've got a Swiss rider, we've got a Slovenian rider. That's the fans there for those guys to go down to Lisa. She caught up with Valentin Guillot, the Ship Cycle Honda SR Motor Blues rider. But before that, Gauthier Paulin, who just happens to be a Yamaha and a Monster ambassador and Team France manager for the Motocross Nations. Here he is with Lisa.
We're almost ready for the first MXGP race of the day, but let's catch up with a familiar face. It's Gauthier Paulin, who's enjoying his time this weekend. Gauthier, first GP of the year for you. I guess what you're doing is catching up with familiar faces, but what else have you been up to this weekend?
Yeah, first of all, I come and see the racing, because there is some gnarly racing at the MX2 and at the MXGP. The track is nice. I'm here for Team France. We're here for Team France with the French Federation to catch up with the guys, to see how they are, how they feel, if they're fit, if there is little injuries, how is the bike. And yeah, season starts, and we know that the MXGP season goes that quick, so we need to be there fourth round and already see many things happen.
And on a track like this, obviously Jorge's going from strength to strength. Who do you think can meet him?
I mean, yesterday Romain was really strong. I see Romain like at his better day, at his best day. You know, he was really loose on the bike and really like metronome, really like on a strict rhythm and nice timing. So today I see Romain here. I hope that Thibaut will do good things too, because he was in MX2, he was riding really strong with Kai de Wolf, that was really fast. But the MXGP, I mean, MX2 has been stepping up, and MXGP too, so some cool racing I see.
And also, Gauthier, just finally, nice memories for you coming back. I know you actually finished your career here, didn't you?
Yes, it was my last GP here 4 years ago already, 2020. I finished on the podium. Great memories, and the fans here are crazy, the Tifosi. To share a moment with them, it's always a pleasure, so great memories.
Have a great day. Thanks, Gauthier. Now, I'd like to speak to Valentin Guillot, who was one of the protagonists of yesterday's qualifying races. Valentin, you were looking really, really good out there, really solid, really strong. I know you actually had quite a hard fall out of 6th, but you did manage to regroup. How were you feeling?
Yeah, really stupid crash. I made, you know, when you take a good start, it's really a good point for start a race like this, and unfortunately I pushed too much at the entry of the corner and I crashed, and yeah, I was maybe 20 and came back 9, so I was feeling good yesterday. The bike is working really good with the Ship2Cycle Honda SR Motor Blues. We are working really good, and we can fight with factory bikes, so it's great.
Absolutely. Well, we're round 4 at the moment of the season. It's going to be a long year. How's the first few rounds been for you?
Yeah, we are in the target, you know, around top 10. It's our goal, just behind the factory bike, so it's perfect. I have my teammate who is really pushing strong, so that's really cool. And yeah, I think season will be long for us. It's a bit difficult because since March we are making a World Championship, then French Championship, World Championship. So for the moment we are on the 6th weekend without break. Next weekend we have again a French Championship, and then we're going to have the first weekend break end of April, so it will be good to enjoy a bit.
You are a busy boy, Valentin. Have a good race. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP Race 1.
Somebody set the alarm clock for Ben Watson there. Having a power nap before the sighting lap. So the riders, MXGP riders, been out on track for the sighting lap. They're back now. Let's take a look at what happened in the ramp qualifying race yesterday in the MXGP class. Went a little bit like this. Jorge Prado got a great start. Watch what he does here. He gets squeezed by Febvre, and then he just thinks, well, rather than get squeezed to the inside, I'm going to switch to the outside, come in from the outside. Still thought that he was able to grab a whole shot there, but he was just hit by a bike length. Monticelli taking out our cameraman. But leading up the hill, it was Romain Febvre from Prado. Glenn Koldenoff was there in 3rd. Jonas into 4th with that move on Valentin Guillot. Herlings and Gajser behind him. And then this was the stupid crash that Guillot talked about. Hard landing there, because that's pretty much heavy rock right there where he landed. Gajser went around the outside here of Jeffrey Herlings, and that put him up into 5th place at that time. Just went after the 41 of Paul's Jonas. He got Koldenoff ahead of him. And then as it came into land over the finish line jump on the opening lap, Jorge Prado, he lost his seat. We had that in the drone cam yesterday footage. Here we go. Watch this. He lands, the seat falls off. He then has to do 1 lap because he didn't realise at that moment. So he's got to do a full lap of the racetrack, so about 150-ish or whatever it was. Trials riding his way round. That was the moment that cost Paul's Jonas 3rd place as Gajser went through. And then Gajser just picking off Jorge Prado. Then we had a bit of a speedy repair job. No time for nuts and bolts. It was literally a little bit of tape, wrap it around the top. Koldenoff didn't get over the triple. This was on lap 7. Gajser sailed into second on lap 7 for Team HRC. They had a bit of time to make up to Romain Febvre, but when he was there was a mistake again for Jonas. That allowed Herlings through. That put Herlings through into 4th with 3 laps to go. And then Jeremy Seewer got the better of Jonas as well. This was on the final lap to move into 5th. Went round the outside and then inside into this turn before heading down past pit lane. Then Prado was up into 17th position. But guess what? Final lap, 3rd of the lap to go. The tape job wasn't good enough. Came off again, did not lose any more positions. Romain Febvre, his first pole of the season. His first qualifying win of the season. Of course, his first since Arnhem last year in the Netherlands with about 5 rounds to go. But the atmosphere, absolutely electric over there, as always. Let's take a look at the championship. Well, Jorge Prado had a 17-point lead coming in, but points awarded for the qualifying races, don't forget. And with Romain Febvre picking up 10, Gajser picking up 9, that lead between Prado and Gajser has been slashed. We're now down to 8 between the first two. Romain Febvre no longer 51 points off the lead, but 33 behind Tim Gajser. So all of a sudden we are starting to close up, but that battle at the top of the championship between Jorge Prado and Tim Gajser now down to just 8 points ahead of MXGP race 1 here in Trentino. And you'll see from the start list now with Romain Febvre going to the line on pole, Gajser second, Glenn Koldenoff will go to line 3rd ahead of Jeffrey Herlings, Jeremy Seewer, Jonas will go to line 6, Blanda in 7, and Cornelius Tondel, his first ever top 10 in 8th place. 9th for Valentin Guillot, page 2. We have to wait for page 3 to see the championship leader, who will go to the line in 17th position, Jorge Prado. He's been used to, 4th and 2 wins in the qualifying races coming into this weekend. All of a sudden, he's going to be going to line 17th. So will there be a space open up on the inside gates where he can get a good jump and come across the right? Will he gate from the middle and squeeze everybody to the inside? This is the big question that everybody is asking now ahead of MXGP Race 1. Where can he get the start from, Mr. Holeshot? Oh, Harry Holeshot there. Romain Febvre, Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP. Well, if he needed to kickstart his season, it was now. Not that it's been a bad season, but he was languishing in 4th place in the championship by 51 points coming into the qualifying race yesterday. Tim Gajser, he's had success here. He would love to do well again here this weekend. He is tied 5 wins with Tony Cairoli and Jeffrey Herlings. They are the most successful riders around this racetrack. Glenn Koldenoff, a good qualifying race for him. 3rd, his best of the season on that Fantic. And then Paul Jonas, a couple of little errors cost him a couple of positions. He went to line 6, still a good gate pick for the rider, who is 5th in the championship standings. Our first look at the number 1, the championship leader, Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, 17th position, 17th gate pick for the Spaniard. He has nerves of steel, though. I'm sure he will not be unfazed by his start position. Jeffrey Herlings, slow burn into this championship, up to 3rd in the standings at the moment, where he was until the qualifying race. He's now dropped down to 4th, 1 behind Febvre. Jeremy Seewer, he's won here in the past. Can he do it again here this weekend? And Calvin Vallandrum, what a ride through the field for him yesterday, about 30th on the opening lap, maybe even further back than that. And then on the end of the first official lap, he was up to 21st. His speed was good, his passing was good, and he eventually came home in 7th place ahead of Cornelius Tondel and Valentin Guillot, with Ben Watson picking up a good result as well, 10th, after starting around 20th place, the Brit. The fly race in 15-second board is up. MXGP Race 1, 30 minutes plus 2. A lot of different storylines here. Big hitters to the inside. Prado, gate 17. He's the championship leader. The lead is only 7 or 8 points between the first 2 riders in the championship. A lot on the line on this first gate drop of the day. Look to the centre of the gate. Number 1, Jorge Prado. Can he get across? He will be the last of the breakers. Oh, absolutely sublime for Jorge Prado. All the way from the middle of the gate. Fox Holeshot, number 5 for the championship leader. Romain Febvre already sat there in second, thinking, where did that come from? Prado leads. Febvre second, Guillot in third. A similar start to what he had yesterday, the Swiss lighting up the back end simultaneously coming out of that turn 4. The top 2 in the race. Gajser quickly into third. Seewer in 5th position on the second of the Kawasaki's. Then the fast starting Tim Edberg, I think that is, on the JM Honda in the fluoro colours. Tricky, edgy racetrack though. Where is Herlings? He's in 14th behind Ben Watson. In fact, there he is going around the outside there, coming towards us now, picking off riders at will. There's Jonas legging his way through the bank. He's in around about 8th position. So not a good start, but a good opening lap for Jeffrey Herlings as he battles his way through traffic. Well, back end just getting a little bit loose there. I think that was on Guillot, wasn't it? Yes, it was. But it's Prado who leads the way. Stepping down into turn 12 here. The 180 left. Flares going off all around this racetrack. Big hitters up front. Prado, Febvre, Gajser. Seewer there in 5th. Where is Herlings? Still languishing in around about 9th or 10th place, maybe. Coming into view now, just over that city jump. But this will give us more of an idea. Prado just over a second clear of Gajser as Gajser comes into land in 3rd. Almost ran out of track there. Guillot 4th, Seewer, Edberg, Jonas, Paturel, Havisto, and then Herlings in 10th, Tropepi 11th, Valandren 12th, Orgmo 13th, then Koldenhoff, Tondel, Watson, Tom Cock, Adam Sterry, Jan Panzer, and Jakob Teresak. Jonas getting alongside Tim Edberg here. The standing construct Honda going past the JM Honda. Jonas wanting to keep Seewer in his sights. Valentin Guillot slowing everything down. That inside was even tighter than that in the 250 race earlier in the MX2 category. Just starting to open up, coming out more mid. Look how slick it is through that off-cambered part of the racetrack there. Guillot almost running into trouble as he hangs on to that 4th place. Seewer pushing though. The 2 Swiss guys, 91 and 92. Working their way towards us now through that left kick that is turn 10. Through those rollers. Herlings is right there. He's just behind Edberg in 9th place now. Heading back in the opposite direction, so the rider in the fluorescent yellow, Tim Edberg, then Herlings. Meanwhile, here's your first 3. Prado, Febvre, Gajser. They're already about 3.5 seconds clear of Valentin Guillot. Gajser just losing the toe to these 2. Watch this here a moment ago. Just have a word with the bank. Will there be a hefty deposit in that bank a little bit later on though? So far so good for Prado. 3 Grand Prix victories on the bounce. Comes into land on that triple. Does Romain Febvre. Paturel is up to 7th. Edberg down to 8th. Herlings up to 9th. Valandren 10 this time around. Koldenhoff 12. Tropepi 13. Tondel up to 14. Sterry up to 18th place. Bogus on the other Fantic down to 26, so obviously running into issues on the opening lap or 2. Brian Bogus. Slow, steep descent into that bottom left-hand turn. Turn 6. See what I mean about how that right-hander is there just at the point that you want to change direction. Camber really falls away quite heftily from right to left. Just at the point where you want to either apply a little bit more brake or turn a little bit more steeply and sharply. Here's Herlings. He's got Benoit Paturel ahead of him on the number 6. Last time we saw Benoit Paturel, his second race went up in a puff of smoke, didn't it? In Sardinia. Good to see him up there in 7th place. Meanwhile, Romain Febvre, last time around, fastest rider on track, but the top three all pretty much similar lap times, 50.8, 50.4, 50.6 in that order. Gajser with his support network over there on Gajser Hill, Gajser corner. Just starting to close back in on the number 3 of Romain Febvre ever so slightly. Again, pretty much equidistant between first, second, third, about a second between all three. Riding around here in a race situation with a seat for more than that, got to feel pretty alien to the number 1. At the end of the first lap, seat came off, came in at the end of the second lap, put it back on, drove pretty much the race with it taped on, and then the final lap where it came off again. Let's take another look at the start, shall we? This guy here, absolutely on fire when he needed to be. Centre of the gate. Look at that, alongside the rider in yellow, he gets alongside Febvre. Febvre's already thinking, right, okay, what do I do about that? Close him off on the exit even. That's how you pull a whole shot. Belief is all it takes, and that kid has belief in abundance when it comes to dropping the clutch. Did not give anybody any doubt. Romain Febvre, though, he is pushing to try and make Prado succumb to a mistake here and there. Prado won the Grand Prix here last year. Febvre was 7th overall. Renault and Herlings rounded out the podium, 2nd and 3rd a year ago. Herlings now up into 8th place. Still hasn't been able to close in on Benoit Paturel, or not as much as he'd like. Ah, back end just a little bit out of shape there for Febvre, something and nothing. He wouldn't have thought so. But he is closing at the end of that straight, isn't he, into turn 2 every single lap. Prado will hear it as well. It is a reality. Jorge Prado, 8 points clear of Tim Gajser. He'll open up over his closest rival. But with Romain Febvre a little bit further back in 3rd, can you afford just to sort of give a couple of points away here or there at this stage of the season if you feel that you're being pushed? Probably not. And I'm not sure Jorge Prado's that kind of rider either. He'll just be like, nope, that's it, I'm here. I've got 25 points sitting there ready to be picked up and banked. Maybe in a couple of 3 laps we'll just see him just start to ramp up the pressure a little bit here. Oh, Valandren put in the squeeze on Jeffrey Herlings at the top of the hill. That was into turn 5, and that all became about because Herlings got caught behind Paturel in 8th place. So Valandren now 8th. That'll be a good confidence boost for the number 10. There's your first 3. Dropping downhill through that long sweeping right. Again, elevation change as you turn right there, it starts to fall away. Prado puts his fastest lap in. Not the fastest lap. 1:49.7. Febvre 49.9.4. Gajser 49.9.7. That's how tight it is between the top 3. And this has been the narrative, hasn't it, for the championship so far? Jorge Prado, he's got to the front, pulled a gap, and then when he's had that gap, the riders behind him, whether it's been Febvre or Gajser, they've literally been able to maintain his pace. So now we're in a situation here. Right, Valandren easing his way past the Frenchman. That puts him up in a 7th. But the narrative now is that we've got the top 3 together, and I'm sure Romain Febvre does not want to let Prado off the hook, and Gajser the same in relation to Febvre. You've shown you can match the pace of the number 1. Now's your time to shine. Gajser just getting dropped there, though, look. 1.3 seconds further back, maybe even more than that now. Yeah, 2.4 at the second intermediate sector. And Vlaanderen was very, very quick yesterday on his ride back through the field. He is now up into 6th position alongside Jonas there. Putting in a good performance at the moment in the early stages, Calvin Vlaanderen on the number 10. Five seconds down on Jeremy Seewer now, though. Can he do anything about the Smurf? 52.1 Seewer, 51.9 in traffic. Vlaanderen. A technical racetrack in a different way to what Sardinia was a week ago, which was very, very deep sand, a lot of braking bumps, a lot of rollers as well, where you had to dance your way around. Here, it's hard, it's slick, it's loose, it's rocky, it's unpredictable. You got gnarly braking bumps starting to appear, rutty, boggy sections like that turn 2, the exit. Then you've got stutter bumps all the way up on the approach there. Finally, Jeffrey Herlings finds his way past Benoit Paturel then, and he moves up into 8th place. Trying to go with him was Koldenhoff as well, the 259, who is in 10th at the moment. Watson's up to 11th. He's found his way past Jerry Havisto. It's nice that, isn't it? Just wheelie and then use that little kicker just to float over the top. Nothing in it between these two once more. Prado just set the fastest lap though, 1:49.4, but it's all come to nothing at the moment because as we get to the intermediate sector here, 7/10 of a second separate first and second as Febvre wrestles the front end of that Kawasaki through that right-hander. He'll feel he's got Prado right where he wants him, and these kind of slick conditions normally right up the street of Romain Febvre, where you can drift the back end, be a little bit loose, be a bit creative with your line choice. He's certainly coming into his own here with 17.5 plus two laps to go. Proper game of cat and mouse between these two. That inside starting to slick up a little bit. The outside still the safety blanket for Prado. Goes middle through here this time around. Gajser just keeping a watching brief at the moment. A couple of seconds further back. 6 laps complete. See what I mean? Febvre there just going higher, getting on the gas, spinning it round. All of a sudden, Prado will hear the number 3's Kawasaki getting a little bit closer, booming in his ear roll. He would have seen a flash of green through there as well. Are we going to see a change for the lead? Not quite this time around. Or maybe we will. Turn 3. Both riders hesitant. And a mistake there for Prado. And Febvre leads. Fans on their feet. We've got a new leader on lap 7. And Gajser would have probably seen that as well and think, right, well, if he can do it, guess what? I'm next in line. The outside there working very, very good. Febvre and Gajser up on the pegs. Through the waves. Febvre making a break for it as he leaves Prado to deal with the threat from behind. The 5-time world champion Tim Gajser. And he has gone, hasn't he? 1.7 it was at the last split. It's going to be more than that now, 1.8. And all of a sudden, Gajser rubbing his hands together, saying, right, getting ready to cherry pick here. And Prado going defensive. He was using the outside pretty much up until this point. Now he knows he's got Gajser there. He's reluctant to let him through up on the inside. He's riding very, very tight and defensive. Hasn't finished lower than second in a race on Sunday, the number 1 and the defending champion. And the gap between him and Febvre now goes out to 1.7 seconds. Only 2.3 separate the first 3 riders at the end of lap 7. Right, Jeffrey Herlings, has he found his way past Paul Jonas? Yes, he has. He moves up into 7th place. Right, Similar part of the racetrack to where he lost the lead a lap ago, but this time he just hangs on for second. Does Jorge Prado, but look at Gajser on the gas very, very quickly. Can't find a way through though. Follows him through at the top of the hill. Back markers coming into play as well. And look, that outside there, so much nicer, so much more secure and safe. Less stones, less rolling. Less chance for the front end to wash out. This racetrack throws up these kind of battles. Remember Gajser and Cairoli a few years ago. Cairoli coming through the pack to win the Grand Prix back in 17, I think it was. Everybody watching down there, wondering what's going to happen next. It's that type of track. It's almost like a game of chess. Right, has Prado started to go again? Because there's Febvre. It's 1.8 at the third sector, which is in the middle of the circuit a moment ago. Gajser looks a lot quicker. Can't find a way through. All of a sudden, Prado on the ropes here. And this is pushy. Oh, he didn't even give him chance to get out of the turn. Gajser up to second. The Slovenian fans that are crammed into this Il Ciclamino circuit like that. All of a sudden, game on. Gajser now second. He is in a position to chase down the race leader. He got a race win in race 2 in Argentina. The championship leader a little bit rattled here in this first race. Watch this here, gets out on the gas early, buries that rear tyre. Didn't even blink. Prado nowhere to go. And when the championship was down to 8 points coming into this first race, all of a sudden we're down to 6 now, aren't we? Let's have a look. Prado and Gajser, yeah. We'll do the points in a moment. Anyway, Febvre, 2.7 seconds clear of Gajser. Prado third, Guillaume and Siwa, the two Swiss guys, 92, 91, still fighting over fourth place. Back marker keeps to the inside there. Horst Jonas. Circulating in 8th. He's got Glenn Koldenoff behind him. Fantic Factory Racing. 2.59. Going for the Latvian. Gets better drive. He's going to be to the outside coming into this next right-hander. So will he go the long way round? Well, Jonas knows he's there. Will he go in and out early in this next left? Opts for the long way round. Can't find a way through. The standing construct Honda, number 41, hanging on at the moment to that 8th place. Championship down to 6 points at the moment between first and second. It was 17 at the start of the weekend. Gajser now second, Prado third in the race. You need absolute precision in terms of throttle control through that final turn and other corners out on this racetrack due to that loose, slick nature of the racetrack here. Herlings put his fastest lap in last time around, a 50.3. That's on par with the top 2 in the race. Febvre and Gajser. Jonas still hanging on here. Koldenoff was impressive yesterday in his qualifying race. On his way to third. But Jonas, former MX2 world champion back in 2017, keeping the wily old fox to the outside. Hard on the brakes. Oh, I thought they were going to come together there. He was carrying a lot more speed down there, wasn't he? The Hoff. Thinks, okay, get on the pegs, go wide, cut back. Jonas can hear that bike, left and right and left. Wondering where the attack's going to come from. The back end just breaks traction there on the Latvian. kept it up on two wheels, just about. Great ride this for the number 6, Benoit Paturel as well, just behind them. He is in 10th position. Watson with him as well in 11th. Hoff cuts to the inside, relying on a back marker to throw the line of sight off of Jonas's run into that turn. No such luck though. The focus of Jonas, absolutely imperative. And as sharp as ever. Still 3.3 separate the first two. Prado 1.6 further back. We're in last 10 minute time. Is somebody going to turn the screw in the top three here? Febvre, Gajser and Prado. Who's going to blink first? Who's going to push the envelope first, actually? Because we're at a critical stage of the championship, certainly with Gajser and Prado, down to 6 points at the moment, if it stays like this. This was earlier on in the race, lap 7. Both riders hesitant coming out of there, and then an overjump and a bobble on the landing. That was the difference between Febvre finding his way past Prado, and then, look at this, didn't even think twice, inside, committed, got on the gas. If he didn't take it then, Tim Gajser, would he still be behind him now? That's the question. And how will that then affect the later stages of this race? Well, there's second and third. Jorge Prado got his first ever MX2 Grand Prix victory here. That was nice, picked the front wheel up. Right, it's 2 seconds down. Still hasn't finished outside the top three as things stay as they are. Right, Golden off. Quick turn of speed around the outside. Commitment from the Hoff. Moves up into 8th. Right, it's Benoit Paturel. So Benoit Paturel and Ben Watson, 9th and 10th then. So the, 10th and 11th, the DeBarch Yamaha and the MRT Beta. These two fighting over that top 10 position. Of course, Ben Watson, his last ever MX2 Grand Prix here, came away as a Grand Prix winner. And Siwa has finally made it past Valentin Guillot. He now moves up into 4th place. Seems like it's taken him the whole entire 12 laps so far to do it, but in the end, when it presented itself, it was an easy move down the inside, kept Guillot to the outside. We're now up into 4th place. Guillot under attack from a hard-charging Calvin Bellandren. This will be juicy because the number 10 is on fire at the moment, certainly enjoying his time around here on that Monster Energy Yamaha. The ship to cycle Honda SR Motor Blues rider who fell in this corner in the qualifying race yesterday, came down to earth, back first, picked himself up to recover well to 9th. Still in a good position here, Guillot in 5th place. But for how much longer? Because the number 10, the lone rider, the lone ranger, if you like, in that Yamaha team. A lot of pressure, a lot of weight on his shoulders, but certainly rising to the occasion here today, number 10, Bellandren. Got to be cute with his line choice here, though. Back marker just not interfering with play, but would have hampered Bellandren's line choice through that corner. This time he goes to the outside, and I tell you what, Guillot, last minute change of direction. Said, no, you're going to have to do a little bit more than that if you're going to come past me. And that will rile Bellandren, that's for sure. Look at this, inside to outside, kept him off balance. Charges back down, keeps it a little bit cleaner. Bellandren, all of a sudden now into that 5th place. Kept his emotions in check, and Herlings is joining the party as well, late on. And in the blink of an eye, Herlings eases past Guillot and goes after Valandren. So Valentin Guillot now down to 7th place. As Herlings and shortly before that, Valandren go through. 4.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. What's Herlings got up his sleeve then? No doubt he would have followed Valandren through, because number 10 found his way past the 84 for 8th earlier on in the race, as he was just warming up the diesel plugs. Now looks like Jeffrey Herlings has got his act together, he's found his mojo. ...13 laps complete. These two are 26, 27 seconds off the lead, which is Romain Febvre, who has a 2.6 second advantage over Gajser. Prado happy to settle in 3rd, it appears, at the moment, because he is now 3.5 seconds down on the HRC man. Bad line choice there for Valandren, and Herlings is going to go through, surely. Not quite. Maybe at the bottom of the hill, he's got to be on the gas early. And tell you what, Valandren can sense the urgency. Heart in the mouth moment there for CV10. And this time, the mistake at the bottom of the hill. Finds his way back past. Herlings coming back for more. Finally makes that move and gets into that 5th place. Valandren's passed him once, you probably think he can line him up again. Gonna have to dig deep though. Both these guys. Seward getting away from them in 4th place. This was Valandren going the wrong side of the back mark here. Look at the gap between him and Jeffrey Herlings going into that turn. All of a sudden, can't get on the gas, back marker holds him up. Herlings cuts to the inside, then he almost gets caught with the back marker. And then a decisive move down the inside here. Herlings moving into 5th with that move on the number 10, Valandren. So, the gap, 2.1 seconds between Febvre and Gajser. We have, I would say, 4 laps to go, including this one. Is he just starting to wind it up a little bit here? Tim Gajser sensing an opportunity for his 2nd race win of the season. 87 there, Kevin Brumman doing his best to stay out of the way. He is out of the points in 24th place. Keep an eye on this then. The lap times last time around, 50.58, 50.42, respectively, for our top 2 in the race. Not falling kind for Gajser, the 2 back markers here. There's the fast starting Tim Edberg, who's about to go a lap down, and the 2:24 of Jakub Terezak, the Czech rider, who he finds his way past quite comfortably. Blue flags waving there. Well, Tim Edberg is a smart young man. He'll see that Febvre's gone through, and he'll realise pretty soon, or I hope he does realise pretty soon, that another one of the leaders is coming through. More blue flags there past pit lane. All of a sudden, Herlings has closed down the gap to next to nothing. He is going after Seward in 4th place. He wasn't kidding when he said he's more like a diesel these days. Takes a while to get warmed up. It's taken him 30 minutes in this first race to be at a 4th place contender. Mistake there at the bottom of the hill for Siwa. Another couple of bike lengths gained by Herlings, who was more efficient through that right-hand turn, turn 2. Ducks the head to avoid the roost of the Kawasaki ahead of him. It's a good showing as well for Kawasaki Racing Team. Both riders inside the top 4 at the moment, but for how much longer? Febvre coming back in the opposite direction, just behind these guys by the Monster Energy rig. That's where the leaders are. Again, Herlings has found his line down there. He spooks Siwa. Doesn't quite force him into making a mistake, though. Knows he's got his hands full now, though. Holds his nice tight line. Will there be a way through at the end of the waves? Yes, there will. Oh, how did he wrestle that KTM through there? Thought he was going to cut left. He decided to go straight on. He must have already been alongside Siwa to commit like that, to not give him a chance to come back. Herlings now up into 4th place. The vintage spark is still there. Siwa minding his own business. Watch this here. This was the first attempt where he tried to rattle the cage of Siwa. Had to hit the brakes, buried the front end in that little bit of a rut there. Got alongside, couldn't make it stick. Watch this here, back end dances around here. Oh! He must have been half a bike length clear. Siwa must have just backed off a little bit there, but he was committed, wasn't he, Jeffrey Herlings? There was no backing out of that. Just over a lap to go. Gap now 3 seconds. Romain Febvre is in the driving seat. Last race win was Maggiora. Race 2, when he suffered the heartbreak of not finishing race 1 on the day that Jorge Prado was crowned world champion. So the penultimate round of last year. He's always had the belief that he's quick enough, that he can win races, that he can still be world champion. Lowest race that he's had so far this year was a 6 in race 1 inside Inia. Other than that, finishing the top 5 every single time, but this will be his first race win if he can just bring it home here. He's just got one more lap to go, about 150, 151. Quick check there to see Gajser coming into view over the finish line jump. Knows exactly where he's at. Slight delay on our timing screen. Right, finally it updates. 2.8 seconds the gap as they hit the line. Tim Gajser can see Febvre there. Is he going to risk anything to try and push to whittle that gap down? If he does, can Febvre respond? Can't imagine either happening now on this final lap, unless there's a mistake from one or the other. Very particular kind of surface here, isn't it? He's pushing. Still believes he can win it, doesn't he, on the final lap, Tim Gajser? Especially with back markers coming into play. Not giving him the luxury here. There's a look over the shoulder there for Romain Febvre. He's right there. We'll get the split at the interval if it's quick enough to respond. We're in sector 3 now. Gains another 0.6 of a second. Not quite close enough, and he's left his charge too late, Tim Gajser. He can see Romain Febvre right there. He's getting closer. Back end just kicks out there. Gajser is going to go around the outside. Is there going to be a final lap push? A final corner push? Absolutely nothing in it between them. And Romain Febvre, I don't think he knew he was that close. Wow, 0.3 of a second in it. Romain Febvre just edges out Tim Gajser. And I don't think he knew he was that close. He was just playing and biding his time, and all of a sudden, there was looking like it was going to be a surprise attack from Gajser. Febvre hangs on. Could he have hung on for another lap, though? Jorge Prado looking down at the rear tyre, thinking, do I have a puncture? But those guys running mooses, but obviously a lot of unpredictability at the rear end, potentially, because of the nature of the ground. It's hard, it's slick. Riders say it all the time here. I felt like I had a flat. I felt like I had a puncture. And just got to ride around it. That's the nature of this game here. But Prado third, Herlings fourth, Siwa and Valandren rounding out the top six. We wait for Valentin Guillot. Here he is now in 7th place. Then Jonas about to hit the line in 8th. There's a back marker. Then Koldenhoff will be next. Or was it? Watson? No, it was Koldenhoff 9th. And there's Watson going through in 10th place. So 2 top 10s for the season. For, well, 3 now, because he got 2 10s and a 9th. Then Watson. So he'll be pleased with that. But a very nervous last half a lap for Romain Febvre. Here he is. His first win of the year is with Lisa.
Romain Febvre, congratulations. You just edged out Gajser at the end there. Good job hanging on to that lead. Were you aware of how close he was?
Yeah, I was. So I took the lead after passing Prado, and then I think Tim passed straight away also. And then I kind of matched the gap like always. I tried to race safe. I didn't make mistake, and yeah, last lap was just to manage with a little bit lap rider, and then yeah, not making any mistake. So yeah, sure he was charging, but on this track it's not easy to pass. So it was in my advantage, and I'm happy to win. Yeah, let's see what we can do the second moto.
Thanks, Romain.
Nothing to worry about. All under control. Managed the gap perfectly. 3 tenths. Couldn't be any more perfect, could it? Anyway, Romain Febvre picks up his first race win of the season. And it's his 47th career race victory, the Frenchman. It was a fine line though, wasn't it? To the flag between him and Gajser. 25 points though belong to the Frenchman. Slow burner that came into life at the end, and there were other moments throughout the race that caught our eye as well. Here's how the points will be dished out then. Romain Febvre picking up 25 points for first on the Kawasaki Racing Team machine. Team HRC's Gajser second. Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas third. Red Bull KTM, Herlings fourth. Then Siwa Valandren for Monster Energy Yamaha. Guillot on the Honda SR Motor Blues Ship to Cycle machine. And then behind them, Jonas on the standing construct. Fantic Factories, Glenn Koldenhoff. Then we've got Watson, MRT Beta, Pacharel, Hawkmo, Havisto, Koch, Panzer, Bogus, Tondell, Osland, Monticelli and Gifting. When I grow up, I want to be a motocross racer. Anyway, let's take a look at the highlights of the race, shall we? Gate drop. Look from the centre of the gate. Number 1, 17th gate pick. Didn't stop Jorge Prado. Rounding out the first turn and bagging his 5th Fox hole shot of the season around the outside of Febvre to move into the lead by turn 2. Benoit Pacharel was there in 3rd place on that blue DeBarch Yamaha. Then either side of him, the 2 Swiss riders, Guillot and Siwa. Gajser though quickly into 3rd as well, as Herlings came under pressure from Valandren. That was for 8th place early on. Then got the better of the number 6 to move into 7th. That was Pacharel. Then Jonas was just ahead of him. And he moved into 6th, pretty much in successive laps. That was a massive spell for Valandren. Then the challenge for the lead. Jorge Prado just bobbled on the landing there. Febvre had caught him And that was on lap 7 of 18. Jeffrey Herlings then found another gear, eased his way past Jonas, and at the same time, Gajser up into second with that move on the championship leader. All of a sudden, the gap down to 6 points at the top of the table. Koldenhoff found his way by Jonas as he found his way into, well, it was eventually 8th or 9th place, wasn't it? But those two changing positions again late on. Bit of a moment there as Guillaume thought he'd carve up the Sunday roast, but in the end, it was Vlaanderen who managed to hold on and make that pass stick. That was for 5th place. Then the wrong side of the back marker, Vlaanderen almost got caught by Herlings, who then also got caught by that same lapped rider, but he eventually charged down into 5th. That was 3-4 laps to go. He then nailed Siwa as well for 4th with 2 to go. This is how close it was on the run down to the finish line, though, between Romain Febvre and Tim Gajser. The two separated by 0.3 of a second as they came out of the final turn, but it was Febvre with his first race win of the season, Gajser second, and Prado third. Let's take a look at the championship then, shall we? Things are tightening up. It was 17 before we came here, and after the qualifying race, it was down to 8, down to 6. Game on as we head into race 2. Prado hanging on here at the moment. Will he be the championship leader after race 2 today? Or will there be a new red plate holder in town? Febvre moves up to 3rd. He did that at the qualifying race, but he's gaining ground as well. Let's take a look at the Fox holeshot then, shall we? And who would have thunk it? From the middle of the gates, swept across everybody else. JP1, Jorge Prado, bagging his 5th Fox holeshot of the campaign. Perfect time to pull that one as well out of the bag. So, as the fans decide to tuck into their packed lunch, their picnic baskets, or disappear to the paddock to see what's going on down there, let's take a look at some of the best moments, shall we? Fascinating first MXGP race. Join us in about an hour's time when we return to Trentino and round 4 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. MX2 and MXGP Race 2 still to come. We'll see you then.